hello everybody. It's a chilly 2 degrees here in Canada. 35 American, and a traffic jam on my local street. Wow. Hey, I'm not used to that. Yeah, I get quite upset when there's just one car in my way. Never mind 3 in a bus, even if it is a little local bus thing. Oh, okay, so it's a foggy morning, and of course it would be because... what can I say? Anyway, so it's going to take longer to get to work. You get the rest of that sentence, I'm sure. Anyway, so I slept really well. I could probably do with another day's sleep. As I probably explained to you guys beforehand, speaking takes a great deal out of my body. We nearly lost the camera there. It went sliding like that. It takes a great deal out of my body, and if you probably can see it, my eyes are nearly closed. And I'm not sure if that's still a little bit left over from the garlic thing, or whether this is just that my body is that tired. It's I don't know, we'll find out. But I'm on my way to work. And oh, it is really socked in here. The visibility is probably half a block at most, which means a lot more concentration than normal. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit today about contribution, because it's something that is really good for the soul. And it's something that doesn't cost us a great deal. It might cost you time, and it might cost you some transport money, but it doesn't cost you a great deal other than that. And what it does for your soul is priceless. So I spent the weekend with a group of like-minded people who have done what I did for many, many years, which is spent a year organizing this event that went on this weekend. And they're people from all walks of life who genuinely believe in the power of young people and the abilities of young people. And that's what you need to have as a base in order to take the next step. And because of that, they all get to watch these young people over the course of a weekend. Now, what I wanted to explain to you is that sometimes you can spend a lot of time on an event like this and feel there is very little reward. It's all over in a heartbeat. But you know, when you see the look on their faces, when you hear them say, wow, I've never been to anything like this before, because we have challenged them at so many levels of decency, that it's sort of like, no, I'm sure you haven't. And I always say that it's not a noble thing that we do. Now, I've got it slightly easier now because I've come off all the committees and everything, and I just have become the opening and closing speaker, which is still quite a responsibility. Because it also requires that I do enough research to want to give me a bit more warning than that next time, young person. Because you need to do a little bit of research to be able to make that a fun thing to do. But what I wanted to say was, it's the reward. I do it because it feels good. I'd love to, it feels good to watch their faces. It feels good to get the hugs. It feels good to make them laugh. It feels good. I'm a very, very selfish person in that way. And it's the same thing with doing Dear Mama Sal. The reason I do it is it feels good. It feels good to be able to help people. It feels good to be able to give support. It feels good to have a place where people can come and just tell their truth, doesn't it? And I'm pretty sure for the majority of the regulars, it must feel good to you as well, otherwise you wouldn't be there. So, there's something about contribution that just changes your life, I find. And what is always interesting to me, it's the busiest people who seem to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's not the people with stacks of time on their hands that do it. It's the people who are the busiest that make time to do it. And that always fascinates me. That it's not just about money. You can say, oh, well, they're the people with the money so they can do it. No, I've seen people who have very little money, who are very busy. Maybe bringing up children or grandchildren or whatever, and really very busy, and still giving time. So if you think your life is a bit empty at the moment, or you need some new friends or whatever it is, you might want to consider joining an organization that gives. And there are lots of them. Now, some of them you need to be, introduced into. You need to be recommended to get into them. And that's okay. You just need to tell them you'd like somebody to recommend you. 9 times out of 10 they'll go, oh, okay. Now, most of them will require annual dues of some sort, but they're normally not horrendous. And the annual dues are to pay for all the stuff that works out. Some require that you go to a weekly lunch or whatever. So have a look at what the commitment is and see if you can do that. And others don't require anything. I mean, like your local hospital, your local thrift shop maybe, I don't know, somewhere. But it gets you out and about and hopefully interacting. So we're well on our way to spring, by the way. Have you noticed that? I don't know what it's like in your neck of the woods, but I've really started to notice, other than the fact we're sucked in this morning, but I've noticed it's a lot lighter in the mornings and it's a lot lighter in the evenings when I'm coming home. And so I think we're going to the fuzzy end of winter pretty soon. Now, I know you're all going, Sal, you've got another 3 months to go. No, get real. You've got another 3 months to go. But yeah, I'm a great believer in keeping my eyes on spring. Owing to the fact I'm not a big fan of winter. I know a lot of you are. I know a lot of you really love this cold, chilly stuff, and that's fine. I tolerate, a quarter of my year to it, so I am really beginning to feel that spring is on the way. Good. So now then, I didn't get any major updates from anybody while I was doing this thing. I kept checking back to see if there were any major reports from anybody. Haven't heard anything more from Emily. Haven't heard anything. Oh, I did hear. I tell you who I heard from. Anna Mette in Denmark was telling me she really wanted to get Judy's palette, but that the import duties are so high in Denmark. It's what they do to dissuade people from buying stuff out of the States, or to encourage people to buy locally, I think would probably be a bit better way of putting it. But the import duties are so high, she just can't afford it. So I thought that was really, really sad to hear. It was difficult. I didn't hear any more about Jesper, and I didn't hear any more. Who else was going to update me on something? Haven't heard from Sarah Beth how the job's going. So anyway, as I said, nobody really updated me, so I've got very little to say on that front. So I'm going to just do a short broadcast today and try and concentrate on what's going on here, and wish you all a very, very pleasant day today, whatever time you listen to this. It's a start of a new week, and therefore it's a start of a new mentality if you want it. I'm definitely challenging Manon and Jen and Leslie. I'm not sure if you've all finished your projects and your 10-minute challenges, but if you haven't, I certainly haven't finished mine. And I'm going back to that this week, because it was working so well for me. I can almost take a camera around my floor. It almost. Probably take me another month, but I can. And then I'm going to. I've got to stop using my floor as a hold-it place for things that I don't want to put away. And what makes me laugh, I'm quite good about putting it in boxes so that it doesn't look quite as bad. So what I do is I will clear stuff off my bed and throw them in a box instead of sorting it through. I know it's wrong. I know some of you, oh, that's a really great tank. They're taking a tank out of an old filling station. Gas station. Amazing how big the tank was. Didn't look in that good condition either, which is a bit worrying. Wow, you know what I'm noticing? All down this street here. Wow. Okay, so on the left-hand side of the street here, this has all been, sort of residential area leading into commercial. And I see that the bulldozers are out and the excavators are out, and it looks like they're about to develop the whole of that block. Wow. Do you know how many millions of dollars worth of housing will go into that? What did I say the other day? Around my side there, townhomes, or side-by-side homes. Not necessarily townhomes, but side-by-side. You know what I mean? Very close to each other. We're going close to 700,000 at a time. And that's probably got room for about 50 of those things on it. Go figure. Ooh, and that building's gone as well. Oh, shiver. There's going to be a lot of development on this corner coming up any minute now. That's good for the economy. So obviously people are feeling, as they say, bullish about the economy because, ooh. Okay, really. There's a car. There's an accident waiting to happen. Really. He was on my left, traveling, and so I went to go on the inside because he was slowing down. Just as I went to go on the inside of him, he took the right-hand lane in front of me. And you probably saw my body language on that one. And then I went to overtake him. And guess what he did? Swung out ahead of me. Weird. Never mind. Okay, so have a good day, everybody. And start your day anew when you get this one. For those of you who'd like to take up a 10-minute challenge, find something that you'd like to get accomplished this week, and understand each day you do not need to spend more than 10 minutes at it. If you want to spend more than 10 minutes because you want to, that is a whole different thing. But if you do the challenge, you only need to do 10 minutes. Then you've done your bit. Then you can hold your head high and go, I did something towards changing that. I'm hoping that you will all have a wonderful week, and I'll do my part to try and encourage you to do that. This is DearMamaSal saying bye for now.